watching Israeli News Live, and this evening, friends, of course, we've been watching, as many of you have already, all day today about this tragic school shooting that took place there inside of California. And it actually, we didn't say anything in the beginning there because, that we know there's already all types of no doubt people saying things that they feel like that have actually happened. Why it happened? Is it another staged event? I was already seeing news coverages coming out stating that, well, this is actually going to be, not to believe the things you're seeing on Twitter if it's speaking about multiple shooters. So you can kind of see that there's a lot of people trying to play down what's really going on in this. So we didn't get into too much of that ourselves there. We just wanted to kind of see how this plays out, who would actually be the shooter, things like that. And then, of course, later we find out that it seems to be more of a realistic shooting at this stage of the game here, because, and not to say it's a game, but because the shooter was a self-inflicted gun wound to the head there in the classroom. But still, a little bit early to call at this point here. Don't want to say too much about that. One thing, though, that reason why we're going to get into this and didn't want to go into this today is because of former President Bill Clinton weighing in on this, and in light of our recent broadcast we did on President Trump and the alleged ties that he has. I'm going to share some information with you guys there, looking at Clinton's past as well, just so you can see which direction we were coming from, even on that there, though, because it's very interesting how he addressed this in his interview with CNN today. So there's a phone interview there. I listened to that when he came on live, caught it in the radio in the car there, and I think it's something worth bringing out. Other than that, I mean, there's all kinds of things going on around the world. Wow. I can't even begin to tell you. Besides Bolivia, the unrest is happening in all parts of the world. So we're going to really begin to catch up on a lot of these things that are happening there. One thing, too, though, I wanted to bring to your attention here, Russia actually moved its part of its air defense system, its helicopters there from its base there in Hamimim Air Base in Syria to Qamishli Air Base. That's right there on the northern border of Syria, very close to the Euphrates River. I can kind of show you where that's at. And they were being protected by the Panzer ADS air system as they were moving their helicopters to there, which is that system you see on your screen now. But this is the very location where they were being moved to. Actually, oh wow, much further to the east there. That's way up there in what's considered to be the Kurdish area of Syria, as you can see right here on your screen there. That's exactly where they moved to that base right there. Basically taking over the areas where the United States once had their forces at. Of course, President Trump has moved forces back into Syria there to secure the oil fields. They do not want Russia or Turkey getting a hold of those oil fields there. So they have moved back in there. This here is where the, Euphrates River, way over here, that comes through the country there. So really interesting to see. Don't know exactly why Russia has done that as of yet, but we'll just kind of follow this to see how that plays out there. Situation too in Bolivia, still very tense situation there, and we thank you as well for those of you that helped that little couple out. The Boer family there, they I think they have discontinued the help that they were asking for. I believe, if I've understood correctly, they had reached what they would need to in the event that they're going to evacuate. So we'll just have to wait. We'll play that by ear, and we'll touch base back with them if indeed that does happen. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I know it's a short video here. A lot of things we're dealing with right now. A lot of things we're looking at in the background as well. And so we're going to be going into some very interesting things there. Another story we're going to be looking at tomorrow, not there, let's see, going to be going into that too, but that's not where I'm looking at. Let's see. I want to see if I can find it here. Oh, yes, right here. Oh, I'll go ahead and play this one for you now. This here is Israel has been accused of installing spyware on journalists and also people that are against Israel using the WhatsApp. They have been putting spyware into people's phones so that they can monitor and listen to what they're doing. Listen in on this one right here.
This story, you're hearing bits and pieces of it, but give me some details here.
Well, Mike, WhatsApp and Facebook, as you said, have sued an Israeli surveillance technology company called the NSO Group in California federal court for allegedly installing spyware on users' phones in violation of their privacy, which is kind of ridiculous because Facebook has their own privacy issues. But anyways, this cyber attack reportedly targeted 1,400 WhatsApp users, including human rights lawyers, journalists, political dissidents, diplomats, and even government and military officials in over 20 countries. Investigators were first alerted about the issue after NSO's flagship spyware, known as Pegasus, was discovered on the smartphones of infected users. The malware was reportedly installed by making a WhatsApp call to the victims who did not even need to answer the phone to become compromised. After Pegasus was installed, it then contacted servers controlled by its operators and sent back victims' data, including their passwords, contact lists, calendar events, text messages, and even voice calls that they had made through other apps.
Well, that kind of makes me just a little bit nervous myself. I can't help but wonder, have we been compromised ourselves on this? So I don't know. I have no idea. But we know we're definitely not the most favored people by Israel to begin with. So, but the thing is, we try to tell the truth, and unfortunately, the more you tell the truth, the less people like you or like what you have to say. Anyway, I'm Steve Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live, and we can't wait to. Oh, by the way, we do have a conference coming up here in February. I'll announce the details coming up before too long on that. Myself, my wife will be speaking there, and John Moore also will be a guest. It'll be here as well. So just keep that in mind coming up here in February. It'll be, I think it's February the 8th, but we will be getting the details together. Very limited seating on this conference there, so a little bit less than what we normally have. Anyway, blessings to you all, and good evening.